Welcome to the MLS Show. It is me, Baz. Please excuse the throaty voice, the eyes that are a little bit glazed over. I am full of cold, but I'm not missing out on doing a video for this week. This is the MLS Show weekly news, where I'm going to bring you all the weekly news, the news items that have caught my eye. So let's get straight onto that with item one. Item one, Andrea Pirlo, for me. Can't let this go by without talking about his performance last week for New York City against Toronto. What a performance from Pirlo that night. Rolled back the years, showed everyone what an effective player he can still be. He had 110 touches of the ball in that game. Absolutely amazing. His passing, his short and long range was absolutely fantastic. He wanted to get on the ball so much, he was receiving it deep, and he got New York City playing. Just what a player, showed what he can bring to this New York City side this season. And I personally am looking forward to seeing a lot more of him doing that this season. One of the biggest stats from the Pirlo stats at the weekend was he made 8 tackles. Andrea Pirlo, go figure, 8 tackles, more than anybody else in the New York side. A fantastic all-round display for him in his side's 2-2 draw with Toronto last week. So, Andrea Pirlo, more of the same, please, for the rest of the season. Item 2 is Darren Mattocks has moved from Vancouver Whitecaps to Portland Timbers this week. The 25-year-old Jamaican striker. A good move, I feel, for Portland. Watched them last week go down 2-1 against San Jose. Looking like they're just a little bit short in a few areas. But I think Mattocks will boost them. Obviously, the missing players as well. Portland, current MLS Cup champions, of course. And I think Mattocks will bring some much-needed pace and a bit more to them to give them an extra attack. And he's played 93 times for Vancouver Whitecaps, scoring 19 goals. He's made 31 appearances for the Jamaican national side, scoring 12 times for them as well. He's joined for targeted allocation money and general allocation money. So, he's a good player, versatile, like I say, he can play wide or play down the middle. So I think that is a really, really good signing for Portland Timbers. Hope to have an interview next week with a Jamaican journalist who can give us a little bit more insight on Darren Mattocks. So look out for that one sometime next week. Item number 3 this week, another transfer. It's New England Revolution have signed Femi Hollinger-Jansen, who is a super draft pick. Hollinger-Jansen, 23-year-old forward from out of the Indiana University, actually born in Benin. So, going to be interesting to see what he brings. Don't know anything about him, just seen that news and thought it was worth a mention. So if any of you know anything about this kid, please let me know in the comment section below. I've done a little digging around, can't really find much on him, but I will definitely be keeping a lookout for him. And his name is quite easy to remember, really, isn't it? He can't be missed. Femi Hollinger-Jansen. So look out for him for New England Revolution as we go forward in this season. Item number 4, to a man who we all know, Didier Drogba. As we know, he has said that he will miss the first 4 or 5 games of MLS because of this ongoing knee problem that flares up when he plays on artificial surface. And obviously at the moment Montreal Impact are playing their games at the Olympic Stadium due to weather conditions and things like that. So Drogba has been missing for a few of the games, but for the opening 2 games rather. But it looks as though he may be involved this weekend against FC Dallas. He's trained with Impact this week, and it looks as though he could be involved. So it'd be great to see Drogba back in that Impact side, who have been magnificent so far this season. They've started off with 2 victories, scoring 6 goals and conceded 2. So, where Drogba's going to come into that, we don't know. Maybe off the bench, but be interesting to see whether he takes his position up this weekend against Dallas, who needs a bounce back after a heavy 5-0 loss at Houston last week. So this one will definitely be worth keeping an eye out for. Item number 5 on my little news roundup is Iker Casillas, former Real Madrid goalkeeper and now plying his trade with FC Porto in Portugal. It looks as though he's going to leave the Portuguese side this summer, and he's been linked strongly with a move to Major League Soccer this week. And surprise, surprise, who he's been linked to, who every single player is linked to. when a move to MLS is mooted. He has been linked to New York City, who, if you believe everything in the press, will end up with about 408 players by the end of the season. But 34-year-old goalkeeper, he was fantastic at Real Madrid. It went stale for him a little bit towards the end. It didn't end brilliantly for him. We all remember that emotional press conference when he was leaving Madrid and moved to Porto. He's not had the greatest of times at Porto, it has to be said. But he would still be a fantastic addition to any Major League Soccer side. I'm not sure whether New York is viable or not, but he would certainly be a good pick-up for anybody, I would imagine, in Major League Soccer. So it'll be interesting to see whether Iker Casillas does make that move to Major League Soccer in the summer. It's a watch this space. Item number 6, and another player who has been linked heavily with Major League Soccer over the past 6 to 8 months, and someone who I think will be absolutely fantastic, and that is Real Sociedad striker Carlos Vela. I think he'd be a marvellous pick-up for anybody. He's been linked this week with a move to either Orlando City or Seattle Sounders. Personally, he would be brilliant at either of those sides. I think he'd be fantastic at Orlando City, linking up with Kyle Larin. He can play wide, he can drop in the hole. I think he's a tremendous player, fella, and a good eye for goal as well. Really, really classy player. But Seattle, I watched them lose last week at Real Salt Lake. They've got young Jordan Morris in there, they've got Clint Dempsey in there, but missing someone, missing Obafemi Martins, it has to be said. They're opening 2 defeats from their 2 games, so I think someone like Carlos Vela could go in there up alongside Dempsey and give them that little bit of a goal boost that potentially they're going to need to replace, with Obafemi Martins not being there. And it would also take a little bit of pressure off Morris as well. Morris, who likes to drift into wide areas. And I think Seattle probably needs somebody straight up the middle alongside Dempsey. So that's going to be an interesting one. I think Vela, for me, will be a fantastic signing for them. He stated he would like a move to Major League Soccer. So again, that's another one where we're going to have to watch this space. But I would love to see Carlos Vela in Major League Soccer in the summer. Item number 7, and the most rubbish piece of MLS news this week, is that Colorado Rapids forward Sheldon Gashi has been given a 1-match suspension for contravening Major League Soccer rules by entering the field of play to celebrate Marco Papa's 95th minute winning strike against LA Galaxy. Gashi, who had been substituted, come onto the pitch to celebrate with Papa, and he's been banned for a game. He's been fined an undisclosed fee, and it means he misses the Rapids game against DC United this weekend. This, to me, I just think is rubbish. I think, yeah, of course, there's rules, and rules have to be followed. But if you can't celebrate a winning goal, a dramatic late winning goal, what's football, soccer coming to? That it's all about goals. It's all about last minute winners, late winners. Everybody going off their heads, limbs everywhere. Everybody celebrating. Gashi's done that with his teammate. He's done that with his teammate, and he is unfortunately now going to sit out a game for Colorado due to that celebration. So that, for me, was a bit of a rubbish decision by the disciplinary committee. They've got rules, I can understand that, but I just think that's a really, really ridiculous rule. And obviously Rapids are already missing Jermaine Jones. He's served 2 games of a 6-game suspension now. And they'll be looking forward to getting him back. But I just thought that Gashi thing was just a little bit frustrating because, celebrating a goal, which it was a winning goal as well, that's what it's all about. And he now misses the game against DC United. So, boo to the MLS disciplinary committee for that decision. Item 8, and the final item on my little news roundup, is the kit. The US men's national team kit was unveiled this week. To be honest, the images have been bouncing around for a few weeks now, but it's all out there this week. And it's left a lot of people a bit underwhelmed. There's a picture also that we put on our Twitter feed of Ross Barkley, Everton and England international midfielder, wearing the New England kit, which is essentially the USA kit, but with the sleeves a different colour. It looks to me, both kits look to me just like training kits. Now, I know that Nike have a template and that's what they follow, and it's just a different version of that template, but it just looks a little bit simplistic for me. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. It looks like a training kit. If it, I just think the away United States kit I like much better than the home kit, but just a bit rubbish. You want that national kit. You want it to be bespoke. You want it to look as though a little bit of thought's gone into it, a bit of care's gone into it. So when those players pull that jersey on and the fans can buy into it too, it looks boss. But I'm a little bit underwhelmed. So let me know what you think in the comments section below about the new United States men's national team strip. Are you underwhelmed? Do you like it? Do you think it's functional? It does the job. It's nice. Will you buy it? Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on all of the items that I've discussed in this little weekly news roundup. Don't forget to give us a subscribe. We're almost at 2,000 subs now. We want to get that going. So please subscribe. Give us a like. Give us a share. Do all that. Follow us on Twitter at the MLS Show. We're always there to interact as well. Like us on Facebook. You'll have to put in the MLS Show because basically I can never ever remember the Facebook page address. We're on Snapchat and Instagram and all that as well. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time on the MLS Show. His short and long range was absolutely fantastic. He wanted to get on the ball so much, he was receiving it deep, and he got New York City playing. Just what a player, showed what he can bring to this New York City side this season, and I personally am looking forward to seeing a lot more of him doing that this season. One of the biggest stats from the Pirlo stats at the weekend was he made 8 tackles. Item 1, Andrea Pirlo, for me. Can't let this go by without talking about his performance last week for New York City against Toronto. What a performance from Pirlo that night. Rolled back the years, showed everyone what an effective player he can still be. He had 110 touches of the ball in that game. Absolutely amazing. His 55-year-old Jamaican striker. A good move, I feel, for Portland. Watched them last week go down 2-1 against San Jose. Looking like they're just a little bit short in a few areas. But I think Matic will boost them. Obviously, the missing players as well. Portland, current MLS Cup champions, of course. And I think Matic will bring some much-needed pace and tackles. Andrea Pirlo, go figure, 8 tackles, more than anybody else in the New York side. A fantastic all-round display for him in his side's 2-2 draw with Toronto last week. So, Andrea Pirlo, more of the same, please, for the rest of the season. Item 2 is Darren Matic has moved from Vancouver Whitecaps to Portland Timbers this week. Welcome to the MLS Show. It is me, Baz. Please excuse the throaty voice, the eyes that are a little bit glazed over. I am full of cold, but I'm not missing out on doing a video for this week. This is the MLS Show weekly news, where I'm going to bring you all the weekly news, the news items that have caught my eye. So let's get straight onto that with item 1.